today's video is going to be a DIY terrarium. Now you're probably like, what is a terrarium? A terrarium is basically like a little ecosystem all in a nice glass jar. They're really easy to make and it's really hard to kill them. So I thought that I would make one today, and they're also really great gifts. So if you like to personalize things or put your own touch on them when you give them to people, this would be a great gift. So I'm just going to run through a couple of the things that you may need. I know it seems like a ton here, but I have a few that I'm going to make and I wanted to make them all kind of a little different. So hello. That's why we have so much stuff here. And remember, you don't have to use the joys of filming outside. Remember, you don't have to use all of this stuff. You could even go in your backyard. Like I've got rocks over there I could grab, and you could get dirt from outside. You don't want dirt from outside. You could just use things that you find around your house. Okay. First thing you're going to need, you're going to need some kind of glass container. I have a few different sizes here. I'm most excited about this little guy. I got these from Michael's. And then the ones that I had just around my house, I just had this mason jar, which you can do it in a mason jar. And I had this little thing. I'm not sure what to call him, but I think I'm going to try to make a little mini terrarium in here. So I have just regular moisture control soil for just my regular plants. I have cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix. So if you have any kind of cacti or anything like that, you're going to want to use this, and then any kind of potting soil for anything else. Hold on, my little orange cat wants out. So the next thing is optional. You don't have to have this. This is activated charcoal. This is just going to keep everything healthy in your terrarium. We found this at Home Depot in the paint aisle. So activated charcoal. You're going to need some rocks or pebbles or sand or anything like that. You can use sand as your next layer, or you can use pebbles. I have a bunch of stones here just for decorativeness. All of these I found at Michael's craft store. You're obviously going to need a variety of little plants here. These I picked up at Home Depot. My little cacti, excuse me, I got from Ikea. Then I just have some more like decorative stuff. These are just like Spanish moss and regular moss. Again, I found these at Michael's. And then I just have like some small decorative things in here. Like I have a few tiny little ladybugs. There's some small eggs in here, and then there's just a really tiny little deer that I'm gonna stuff in one of my terrariums. That is it, right? Yeah, so let's jump into making a terrarium. Going to start off with whatever jar you want. I'm going to be starting off with this little rando one. And the first thing I'm going to do is add a layer of little rocks. And spread it out. This is going to act as your drainage layer. Hello, boo-boo. Just filming a video here, no big deal. Get out of here. You could totally use sand down here if you wanted. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of activated charcoal. This is just going to keep everything fresh and healthy in there, or so I've heard. Next, you want to do your layer of soil. For this one, I'm going to use, here comes another school bus, yay! For this one, I'm going to use the cactus soil because that's what I'm going to put in my first terrarium. Take a scoop and scoop some out. You don't need that much because your plants do come with soil. So we're just going to pop this in here. So after you have all your basics laid down, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to plant your plants, and you're going to want to start with the largest plant first. Who am I going to start with? Is this little cacti right here. So I'm just going to cut this off. And when you plant this little guy, you want to make sure you plant him at the same level that he was planted in the pot. Hello. Goodbye. You want to be careful when you're working with these. So you just want to give them a little wiggle. And then we're gonna Plop him in here. Push him back over there where you want him. Somewhere like that. So I'm just pushing his soil down around him. Be careful, because these little guys will get ya. And remember, you want to bury him as much as he was buried before. This is a little succulent, and I'm going to stick him right there next to him. I'm just going to pull this little sad guy out of here. You have your two bigger pieces in your terrarium, you want to start adding smaller little elements. So like I have these little random fake trees that I found at Michael's, and then remember I showed you guys like these small little trinkets, like I have a little deer in here and there's some eggs and some ladybugs in there. I'm going to be throwing in some like moss and stones and stuff. I've already thrown in a little bit of some green Spanish moss just from this random bag that I found at Michael's. I'm going to use some of these pieces here too, I think, just to give it some character in there. You just want to make sure to water these little guys once a week and put them somewhere that they get sunlight but not direct sunlight. If you're wondering where my terrariums will live, they will live on my bookshelves for my bookshelf styling when I get those all set up, which I'll be doing over the next couple of days. So when I do that video, you guys will see them live and again. But yeah, I had fun making them. I hope you guys make some. It's great because they're all personalized, and like I said, they're great gifts to give. This little guy is my favorite because he's just so small and tiny. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!